When you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah. Well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All that is bad, and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you want it to be. I feel right and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all other haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away, And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something, then all you really need is hope. Let's go, it's what you need when you're down, need when you're out. It's what you need when you're sad and when you feel left out. You feel an energy drop and then creeps out, but with a little bit of hope you can figure it out. Keep your head high even when you're down inside. Through the pain you fight and through the painful nights you keep striving, keep trying, keep driving, rising, keep thriving, surviving. Nothing's in your way but yourself, don't need nobody's help. You can make it through this hell, take it one step at a time, one step as you climb. If you fail you'll be fine, get back up to the grind and never lose sight of your mission. Be driven, this life is a prison if you don't have vision. You're in it to win it, so get it, don't miss it. Your chances now, so be something somehow. Don't let yourself down. That's right. Sometimes all we really need is hope.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you guys? I hope everybody's doing well today. Nicole, thank you so much for the gifted membership right off the bat. I was getting ready to say, who was it? Nene asked about the gifted membership. Yesterday, it was raining green in this chat. There was 46 gifted memberships. I gifted 5. B Tim gifted 10. B Crumbs, I think, gifted 10. Oh gosh, Annie Lou gifted some. Like there was just memberships flying all over the place. Salty Sea. And so it was really, really awesome. Good morning, Malicious Intent. Hello, Roberta. Hi in the bushes. Hi, Nene. Hi, Rexy. Hi, Georgie. Hi, Carol Claus. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Language of Horses. Hello. Hi, Rhonda. How are you guys? Hi, Stephanie. Let's see. Mike Jetson. Good morning, Ringo. Good morning, Susan. So we have a lot to cover. They are going to be doing a search today. They have already started. Before we get too far into that, though, I do want to bring something up. While we are discussing Sebastian Rogers, it constantly has brought another case that honestly, it's similar to this one. Um, and and it's been on my mind a lot. Ryan Larson, I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of Ryan Larson, was an 11-year-old boy with autism who walked out of his school one day and has not been seen since. And so I did want to bring up Ryan Larson because it has been 3 years now that he has been missing since May 17th of 2021. So it's not quite been 3 years, but his family is still desperately searching for answers for where Ryan Larson could be. And so I did want to show his face, show his story just briefly here before we get too far into Sebastian's case. And so give me just a moment to pull that up. His family still desperately wants to know where he has been. His sister is somebody that I have communicated with behind the scenes. I did not ever ask her to come on for an interview. That family has been through enough speculation and criticism and things like that. And the fact of the matter is, Ryan Larson was not with his family whenever he went missing. He was at his elementary school in La Vista, Nebraska. Whenever he walked out, he was supposed to have a one-to-one aide with him, and he did not. It was the second time that he was able to walk out of that school. And this time, They waited over a half hour before they contacted police, an hour before they contacted his mom, and he has never been found. So, it says the word or sorry, original. It's the word that loved ones use when describing 11-year-old Ryan Larson. He's just so original with everything, his older sister Taylor told Dateline. One of my favorite things about Ryan is he is so funny and not necessarily because he's trying to be. Ryan's mother, Tammy, told Dateline that some of his favorite things include Matchbox cars, army figurines, Legos, but most of all, he loves to play pranks. He has a mechanical wind up bug, Tammy told Dateline. He loves to wind it up and let it go in his sister's room and wait for them to see it and giggle when they did. He always thinks it's hilarious. He also would take it to school and play pranks on his teachers. He has three older sisters, Christina, Kayla, and Taylor, who miss Ryan and his silly pranks dearly. Their close knit family has been incomplete for nearly 3 years since the day Ryan disappeared. Tammy Larson has not seen her son Ryan since she dropped him off at school in La Vista, Nebraska, the morning of May 17th of 2021. The day started normal. We got up, got ready for school. He was actually very excited to get home that evening because we had some plans, dropped him off at school, and went to work. Tammy told Dateline about those after school plans. Ryan was excited about that day. We're sending a present to a friend across the country. It was kind of a mystery. So we were going to come up with clues that night to leave him guessing so that he'd have to try to figure out what he was going to get in the mail. At 12:27 p.m., the otherwise normal day took a turn. That's when Tammy received a call that would change her life forever. Just minutes earlier, around noon, Ryan reportedly walked out of the La Vista Elementary. He is on the autism spectrum and also has epilepsy, and Tourette's. She said, I got the company call from the school saying that they believed Ryan had walked out of the school. They didn't know for sure, and that I needed to come to the school, Tammy told Dateline. According to Ryan's family, this was not the first time that Ryan had walked out of the school or gone missing in general. However, in the past, it had only been for a short time. I actually had called an officer that he had gotten to know because of this was not the first time that Ryan has run from school. Tammy said, and I said, okay, school called. Where do we go from here? Tammy said the officer advised her to go to the home first to check for Ryan there. So she went home, and when Ryan was not there, Tammy immediately headed to the school. When she arrived, Tammy learned that Ryan had been having an issue in class. He had an issue, I believe, with a math problem, and he was having a hard time. So part of Ryan's special individual education plan, his IEP, is that he can move to a different room to calm down. According to Tammy, Ryan was left unattended for a few moments when switching classrooms, and that is when he walked out of the school. Dateline contacted the La Vista Elementary School to get a timeline of events the day that Ryan disappeared. The principal directed Dateline to contact the La Vista Community School District. Just checking in over here. Right. Why wasn't anyone keeping an eye on him, especially with his disabilities? Yeah, the case has really been breaking my spirit lately. I understand. Yeah, another one, just like Chiron. And it's just devastating because so this family, because she went to her house first before going to the school, a lot of people speculated that she had done so many different things to Ryan. It's not even funny. And really, it's just not the reality. Unfortunately, he has not been found still to this day. And there's no indications of where he could have possibly gone. Yeah, no updates, no information. And I'm praying that that does not happen in Sebastian's case. But I do want to, like I said, show Ryan's face because the way that these children just disappear sometimes, it makes no sense, but it does happen. Where sometimes children really do just vanish and there's no rhyme or reason to it, and we can't find them. And I really hope that honestly, I hope that they don't find Sebastian during this search today because that would mean that it would be a not good circumstances. I hope that they come up with no findings. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I want Sebastian to be alive. I want Sebastian to have the ability to come home. Same thing with Ryan. I still want Ryan to have the ability to come home. Now, his mom has since, I believe moved to have him declared deceased because of his medical needs and things like that. She wants to hold the school accountable because the school violated his IEP and they should have had a one-to-one aide with him. So it says we spoke directly with school employees at the time. We went directly to all the staff who were working that day and interviewed them. Based on Ryan's history of running away, authorities had a few areas that they knew to check for him. We immediately went to the areas where we had found him in the past. The captain said that they had checked local businesses and parks in addition to the school property. Officers also searched the apartment complex where he lives, the playground area, and garages. According to the captain, Ryan would sometimes go visit his grandmother who lived nearby, so officers searched there too. Unfortunately, those search efforts turned up nothing. There is no evidence of foul play at this time. He just vanished, which seems very odd, he said. I mean, it's a busy area for our city, a lot of people, a lot of vehicular traffic. So the fact that no one really saw anything says or say he was being abducted, that would have drawn attention. The captain is due to retire next year. He said if Ryan's case is one of those cases he knows will stick with him. If we don't find him or find out what happened, it'll probably stick with every one of us here, until there's a resolution to it. I mean, no one wants to see, as I said, anybody missing, but a child that just touches all of us who are parents or grandparents, so we take that personal. According to his family, Ryan would sometimes get upset if he was not good at something quickly. If he doesn't understand why some or understand something education wise right away, he gets very frustrated. He's kind of a perfectionist, Tammy said. Can't get it the first time. It's very hard for him to try and get it done. They think that could explain why he may have gotten upset at school that day because it was a math problem and was being moved to another room per his IEP. Tammy and Taylor explained some of the other things that frequently upset Ryan or caused him to have sensory overload. Loud noises for sure, Tammy said. I think a lot of times, just like being in overly crowded places, sometimes he would just become a little nervous. He definitely didn't like to be told no. Sometimes, that would frustrate him. Taylor said that she had gotten married and was no longer living at home with her family in May of 2021. She told Dateline that she had always been physically there for Ryan in the past when he was struggling with something at school. This was the first time that he had walked out of school and I wasn't living there anymore. Ryan has just been through so much. He's had the hardest time in school and he's been bullied. He always just felt like he didn't fit in. Hearing that as like a big sister, I wasn't there. I wasn't home to do something about it. I wasn't there to kind of be there right away when Ryan walked out of school. It was really, really hard to deal with, Taylor said. After almost 2 years with no answers, Tammy needed to make a very hard decision. She filed the motion to have Ryan declared deceased in February of 2023. So the state action and having Ryan declared deceased was one way in which we could proceed with a lawsuit against the school district. It also, in speaking with Tammy, was providing, I think, or at least an attempt to provide some measure of closure for what her and her family have been going through. From a personal standpoint, the decision was not easy for Ryan's family. It was very hard to hear, when we decided to go that way, Tammy told Dateline, because I still believe he's out there. But at the same time, I want people that need to be held accountable for that day to be held accountable for it. Taylor also discussed the family's difficult decision. She said, I think it's important to know that when coming to a decision, we made 100% sure that even if the judge decided to declare him, it would in no way stop any investigations or police work. I also want to add that we chose to go that route because we knew that it wasn't a permanent decision. When Ryan is found, the judge would reverse the ruling immediately. I think these things are important to note for this topic. check and see how everybody's doing. Good morning, Cooter G. You thought it had to be longer than 2 years. So they did end up denying the motion to declare him deceased, but it is something that the family tried to do. Um, and so the motion was denied in April 27th of 2023. Whenever they asked if they would pursue it again, she said that they would not pursue the action currently, as Ryan's death will be presumed after 5 years from the date of disappearance in their state. So we're looking at, what is that, 25? 26, but initially we filed the federal action against the school district alleging violations of ADA, IDEA, etc. The court dismissed that action as it determined we do not have remedies under the federal law, but the court did not comment on our state claims. The current actions against the school district is in state court and alleges negligence on the part of the school district. And I mean, I completely agree with them. They totally dropped the ball, letting this kid who had run away before, just walk out of his school, especially knowing that that was already an issue for Ryan. But he still has not been found. They still have no idea where he could have gone, and there's been no indications all this time. So he would turn 15 on June 8th, it says. He would be 14 years old today. But at the time of his disappearance, he was 5'8", 125 pounds, and he was, 11 or 12 years old. Some of the flyers say 12, some say 11. I think his birthday was right around then. So, but I did just want to bring up his story and show his face to a new audience, because I know that there are some of you guys who may not have seen this before. Let me get this bigger for you. This is what he looks like. It just reminds me in ways of Sebastian's case. Obviously, it's not the same exact circumstances. Sebastian didn't walk out of a school and things like that. But a lot of how we have heard Sebastian described, like the difficulty making friends and things like that. It kind of reminds me of how Ryan is described in certain situations. And so I wanted to share his face and share his story also. Good morning, Salty C. How are you? Yeah, you hadn't heard of it at all. Absolutely. So we just have to pray for some type of resolution in both of these cases. Um, Again, I'm honestly hoping that they don't find anything today during this search. And I know that that sounds counterproductive, but I just want Sebastian to have the ability to come home. If they find his remains or something along those lines during this search, that means that he's not coming home. And I'm not okay with that, right? So let me show you the post from Nick Beres from this morning about this search. So it says breaking. I've learned of a new massive search effort underway this morning to look for Sebastian Rogers. Here are the exclusive details on what is a large new response by professionals with boots on the ground looking for Sebastian. This is coming one day after authorities vowed to step up the search effort. True to their word, it's happening this morning. I'm honestly willing to bet that they called that press conference yesterday, knowing that the search was planned for today. This is not something that they just decided to do out of nowhere. This was likely a planned event, because this is not in response to any new tips or lead. And so we had seen this in other cases in Tennessee. I hate to keep bringing up Summer Wells, but with Summer Wells, several months after she went missing, they did have another large planned search, and everybody freaked out and was like, oh my God, they got something new in Summer's case, blah, blah, blah. But really, it was just a planned search that they had planned to do whenever the weather changed and things like that. I don't know what makes them decide, 1 month later to go back through everything, but that's what's happening right now. So it says this morning there is a staging area across from the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department near the Hendersonville neighborhood, where Sebastian disappeared more than 5 weeks ago. I'm told dozens of professional searchers have been called in by Sumner County EMS to canvass the entire area, a 6 to 10 mile radius. We're talking to sheriff deputies, firefighters, and more coming in from counties across Middle Tennessee to help. So far, we've seen several officers, 2 boats, utility vehicles already at the staging area. This is not in response to any new leads or tips. The plan is simply for them to re-canvass the area already covered, looking for anything that perhaps was missed during the original search, or maybe something that's new that's appeared. Again, this will be organized by grid style search by professionals. Residents in the neighborhood will see the officers out walking in the area. It's expected to take all of today and maybe into tomorrow. The Sumner County Sheriff reports law enforcement agencies are currently conducting another thorough search in the Long Hollow Pike area in reference to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, a young member of our community. Despite exhaustive efforts, there are no new leads or evidence to indicate the search will be immediately fruitful. However, we are committed to leaving no stone unturned in our mission to locate Sebastian and bring him home safely. Several of you are asking about the glasses found by searchers in recent days. First, no, this search was not triggered by that find, which I've heard was a good distance away from the neighborhood. And second, I'm told it's highly unlikely that the glasses belong to Sebastian. Not sure why it would take so much time to vet the glasses, awaiting official word from authorities. I will be monitoring this latest search effort for any new developments. And then, of course, they shared some photos of the search and of Sebastian. So here is a quick video. This one's only like 1 minute long. Let's see here. Yes, we've been covering Elijah as well. It's just been a few days since we went over his case before, but yes, we have talked about Elijah. Mhm. See, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. Their search is towards the school. Would he run there since he enjoyed school? I I don't know, Peanut. Good morning, B Tim. Yeah, hopefully good news will come today. I don't think finding him deceased is good news at this point. I'm just saying. I just hope and pray that they don't find anything, honestly, because I do still think that he ran away. But this is just a video of them going through the woods in that area. But even them doing this search, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have evidence of something else happening. It just means that they are literally making sure. They're just double checking everywhere that they've been, everywhere that they need to go. Especially since there has been so much in this case about the searches, lack of searches, all of those different controversial everything. They're just making sure they're doing their part. So that was just a quick little video. Now, as far as the glasses go, so last night on a channel called Novesty, I don't know how many of you guys have ever heard of Novesty, but last night on his channel, he had Seth Rogers call in. Of course, there's another family interview. But he had Seth Rogers call in, and Seth actually talked to him about the glasses. And so here is the link to this video so that you guys can watch it in whole if you would like to. But I'm going to play this part with the interview. so that you guys can hear for yourself what Seth says about the glasses and where they were found and all of those different things. So this happened last night on this channel called Novosty. I have never heard of it either, but I don't know.
Hey, Seth, how's it going, man?
Well, life's been kind of shitty for a minute now.
I know. Listen, man, I'm very, very, very sorry to hear about everything that's going on. And listen, I've been studying your interviews endlessly, and you seem to just be like, you're like, man, I just want to find him. And I understand you, and I'm here. I'm rooting for you. I promise that I will be doing my best. I have everybody from my Discord server trying their best, and I am very, 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 very sorry, to hear what's going on. And just thank you for wanting to chime in and call. I did have a couple of people that were going to reach out to you eventually, but you did an interview recently where you was like, I'm out here every day and I hear stuff from podcasters. So I was like, you know what? Let him be and let him do what he wants. And he just needs some time. He wants to go search for his son. So I just wanted to respect your time and not to reach out to you. So I hope you do understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that beats him. I think that he is just trying to keep people talking, right? The more that Seth talks, since he is not like Chris and Katie can't do it, right? And so the more that he talks and the more that he continues to put Sebastian's name out there and give little tiny details and different things like that, the more that it keeps everybody else talking about him. You guys both follow him. He's a good one. Okay, great. Good to know.
I mean, every podcaster that I've gone on, I've actually reached out to first.
Oh, okay. And just I know there's probably certain things that you cannot say. There's certain things you can say. Seth.
It is an active investigation.
Yeah, it's an active investigation. But I'm gonna have to ask you, Seth, because I want to help. I'm very passionate about this and I really want to help. Is there anything that you can say about any new details because of this update that they just gave us this morning? Is there anything that you can say to us that you can provide?
Well, my volunteers are the ones that found the glasses.
Whoa, wait. Your volunteers?
Sebastian's army.
Wait, time out. They didn't, hold on, PD and their search team didn't find the glasses? Your volunteers found it?
Good morning, Zane. No, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much, Jess. It's a hard word to figure out. I can't read in general. Like, goodness, guys, I'm so dyslexic. It's not even funny. Practically illiterate most days. Yeah, you think Seth isn't sleeping well for obvious reasons, so he's using these sleepless hours to keep people on social media talking. I agree. I agree with that totally. Literally, he just is keeping his kid's name out there everywhere. I was just saying this yesterday, B. Tim. The minute that he stops doing interviews at this point, there's so many new weird cases jumping up with new people for all of us to hate and speculate about and look into and all of that, right? And then the more that we all speculate and look into new people, then that gives all of you drama channels new people to hate and speculate and talk about, right? And so this keeps us focused on Sebastian. So, rather than moving on to the next one.
My volunteers found it, yes. I didn't watch the press conference. They say that they found him.
Your volunteers found the. Let me ask you, since you're his father, can you confirm that it is his glasses? Like, just by looking at it, can you confirm?
I looked at the glasses and I had them bag and tag them because if they're not his glasses, they are really close. I mean, they're close enough that I asked them to bag and tag them and take them and as evidence. I'd say.
Welcome, Lady Bay. So he's saying that it's not been confirmed. Let me clear that up. It's not been confirmed that they are Sebastian's glasses, but they look enough like Sebastian's glasses that he thought that it was important for TBI, for Sumner County to have them to check, right? But they are not confirmed to be Sebastian's glasses. They just look extremely similar to them. I know, me too. I worry about that too. I hope and pray he's taking care of himself also. He is honestly sounding tired. I know he won't give up till Sebastian comes home. I'm honestly, this is going to sound rude, but I honestly wonder how much weight and stuff like that he's lost throughout this time period, because he is out there walking nonstop. Anytime he's on camera, you see him like moving his shoulders and his arms around because you can tell his body just hurts him, right? And I don't think that he's eating properly. I don't think that he's getting enough sleep or rest. I mean, he said that he can't rest, and so I hope that he really does take, time to recharge himself so that he doesn't get too run down doing this. And I know it's hard as a parent. Like I think I'd probably be in the exact same boat, where you're just like literally running yourself into nothing. Running yourself into nothing trying to search for your kid. Yeah, he's had so many injuries, right? He's got blisters on his feet from walking so much. I can only imagine. Good morning, Slews. And that's not me trying to be rude. Like, please hear me out. I'm not trying to call out people. I'm just saying, like, I worry about his overall well-being while he's trying to run himself down so much, searching for his kid.
Hey, I'm 90% sure, but there's always that 10%. Not to mention, I haven't got to see my son's glasses in a month and like 3 weeks.
Right.
So they're not really fresh in my mind. And they didn't seem to have a lot of wear and tear on them. And they were only scratched around the nose piece. So I don't know.
And
could they be his? Yes. Could they maybe not be his? Yes. Am I waiting for the test to come back? Yes.
So they're doing a DNA test on these glasses, correct?
Well, they're doing whatever test they need to do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they will see if there's any DNA on them, and I'm pretty sure they'll check the prescription lenses with his last prescription.
Okay. And I do have an address that you said that where the glasses was. And is it 210 Hutch, correct?
Yeah. So it was, like I said, I wasn't with my volunteers when they found them. They turned around and let somebody know. I turned around, said, send me the pictures, let me see them. They sent it to me. I was like, those are, by the pictures, look like my son's glasses. Flagged down a deputy sheriff and had him wait for my volunteers to show up to give them to him so there'd be a chain of evidence.
Right.
So, I mean, that's 22, 25 miles, depending on which route you take, from where the glasses were found to his home. And oddly enough, there had been a sighting, quote unquote, in Gallatin. Somebody had said that they had seen Sebastian there. Now, the sighting was never confirmed. Obviously, it was just somebody posting on Facebook saying that they thought that they had seen him and that they had called it in. But now we have these glasses found, kind of in that same area. You will say if the glasses are Sebastian's glasses, I'm surprised. Yeah, so they confirmed that they had found them. They are being sent for testing and things like that, from what we understand. This just happened, though, where they found these glasses. No, you're fine, chronic pain. I think everybody is deeply concerned for Sebastian.
And you found your volunteers found these glasses west of Hutch Court, correct? Like near Shackle Island, right?
I believe so. They said it was Gallatin.
Oh,
I sent them up there to hand out flyers.
Okay. Sorry about that. I meant east. Excuse me, not west. It's east of that location, and by Hutch Court.
I think so.
Okay.
That sounds more familiar, but I'm not really familiar with the area.
Right. And when was this found, if you don't mind me asking? Like, when did your team find it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just found 2 days ago. Sorry, I seen that you asked Sluice about when they were found. They were just found 2 days ago. So this is new information to me. I didn't know that it was down the street from Chris's mom's house. So I said yesterday, whenever they mentioned the glasses and that they were looking into them, and we had heard about that, remember, I said, be careful because we do not know if people could plant evidence like that and things like that, right? And so these do not necessarily have to be Sebastian's glasses. It does not necessarily have to be something connected to his case. Is it odd? Absolutely. But with it being right down the street from Chris's mom's house, that makes me feel I don't know how to say this. Like, what is the motivation behind planting evidence whenever the entire universe is looking at Chris Proudfoot and his family suspiciously, and then we find glasses? And I'm not saying that Seth did it. I'm not saying that Seth's people did it. It just seems very, very ironic. However, it very well, it could be Sebastian's, and if it was outside of his parents' house, like, I don't know, that's weird. That's very weird. Sorry. Could he walk barefoot 25 miles? I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened. Did he even walk? Right? We don't know. Yeah, that makes me think plant. I just go automatically to skeptical, right? Because I've seen some disgusting things happen in these cases where people plant stuff to try to make people look more involved or more guilty. And so as soon as Bush has said that it was down the road from his parents' house, I know there's a lot of people who don't trust CP or his family, especially after the Nina interview. But logically speaking, what are the chances? Right. But if they do end up being his glasses, yeah, somebody has some major explaining to do. Trev Time just posted to say it's not his glasses. Do they have confirmation of that? Let me go check Trev Time. So again, I mean, sure. So some random person could have just dropped glasses out there, and it may be absolutely nothing, just a fluke that they found them there, all of those things, right? Or it could be somebody who bought a pair of glasses that look like Sebastian's and dropped them down the street from Chris Proudfoot's family's house to make it look like Chris Proudfoot's more involved, or his family. So yeah, Trev Time just posted 8 minutes ago. Law enforcement has now rolled out the glasses found in the search for Sebastian Rogers. The search today is unrelated to that finding. We knew that the search was unrelated to the glasses, but I hadn't seen that they had been rolled out. I wonder if Sumner County themselves actually posted anything about the glasses. I know that Trev obviously is in direct communication with. Okay, here we go. Important announcement. Attention everyone. We want to clarify that the glasses found recently are not related to Sebastian Rogers. So they did actually confirm this on the sheriff's website. Thank God, because the fact that they were down the street, yeah, that's it. It sounds planned. You think DNA would take at least 48 hours? Yes, Sumner County actually confirmed it. Yep, we got it. I don't know, bushes. Yep, it's true. Okay. So the glasses are not important then. And that's good to know, right? Again, I still want to live in the realm of possibility that Sebastian has the ability to come home. He was like practically blind without his glasses. His mom said as soon as he opened his eyes in the morning, he would put them on. And he would not take them off until he was laying down for bed at night. And so he needs his glasses. He's not just out there wandering around, blurry vision and all. Yeah, he could not see without his glasses. And so we know that the glasses found now were not Sebastian's. So I don't think anybody's actually there, Kim. And it was his own personal, or like his own little search team that he's had going out. Yeah, it makes you feel better, but back to square one again. Right. Law enforcement saying they had the search planned, but they did not mention it yesterday. So I don't think that law enforcement would have came out and put in advance that they were going to be out searching because they didn't want the YouTubers to show up. And so they did the press conference yesterday. They said that they were going to be out searching again in the near future, but they did not say when it was going to be. They just said in the future, right? And so, again, I think that's partially because they didn't want all the TikTokers, YouTubers, all the people to show up and watch the search. Right. Yeah, now we see why this takes so long. We're still stuck at the last evidence being at the restaurant. You don't think that Sebastian ever went home at Sunday night after dinner? I don't know. Yeah, they said in one of the articles that they moved to Memphis. Not gonna lie, I was hoping that maybe they were his and he was alive around where they were found, right, because of the sighting. Hmm, interesting. Let me still go back to this interview. I'm curious. So, I mean, we know that the glasses is gonna be unrelated now.
Strange. Then why would the officers say that they? Okay, you know what? I'm not here to cross-reference the officers right now. This is perfect to talking to his father. You right now. This is and I again I
We send them out normally with flyers. We've got a couple dive teams out too that have volunteered to help. I mean, I just want to find my son. I want to bring him home. I want to keep him out of the hell that I guess he's been in that I didn't know about. I want to apologize for not knowing.
Seth, you don't have to. Everything that I've been hearing, you're in this child's life. Seth, out of all my cases, I've heard terrible fathers, Stephen Stearns, people like that I have worked on cases close to these families. And you're gonna apologize. You don't need to apologize. How could you have known? Everything has been pointing out to you being a leading father, and you're out there looking for your son. And he disappears in the house where Chris is at. No disrespect, where Katie's at, not your house. You are doing a phenomenal job, and I know you want to find your son, and I know that. You got people in my chat that DM me. I got hundreds, Seth, of messages. People in my chat right now saying they can hear the pain in your voice. And we know that. That's why I do this for you. I do this for your son. Absolutely. You're a phenomenal father. Don't take that away from you, brother, please. And I know you said that you didn't know this was going on. And I want to ask you that. When we talked about that, so did Nancy Grace, and I piggybacked off of her. When Chris said that of disciplining your child, was you not known of that?
No, I wasn't.
And let me tell you something about that, Steph. You can go back to my podcast, and I said this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I said, and I knew if you would have known about that, you definitely would have done something. Is that correct?
Of course.
Absolutely. Because you got people like this man named Chris who abuses his former partner's child. How dare he do it to a child that's not even his? And that's where we apologize to you. Because if you didn't know, I'm going to apologize. Because no man should do that.
Sebastian is 5'5" and 113. He is taller than me. You hope he has food and water and is being off his meds. His appetite would increase, right? She is moving so the neighbors don't have to be bothered. I don't think I'd be worried about the new neighbors. BC, I sent you a message for that information. I'll pull that interview up so that we can hear that because I hadn't heard it yet. I did see it on a news report, but I hadn't seen it on, from Seth. Yeah, your child or not, you just should not abuse children. I mean, right? Yeah, excited is a good word. He is a good guy. He sounds like a good guy. He could definitely be a motivational speaker, man. There's been so many interviews, like, it's hard to keep up with all of the interviews, like, honestly, because he is just everywhere, and he needs to be everywhere, like I said. And BC just, like, comes in and drops a bombshell and then just disappears. Welcome to the sleuth family, Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. No indication of where she heard it, no indication of whatever, and she's not messaging me back. Dun, dun, dun. It's fine. You just got here, so you don't know what you missed. BC just said that she heard Seth saying about the interview that he was or about them selling the house, and then she went MIA. Yeah. You're dying laughing at the thought that they would move because of the disruption to the neighbors. They're hiding from the public. I can't really necessarily blame them from hiding from the public. I don't know, Seal. That's just something that BC kind of said and then just disappeared. So what you have missed so far though is that they are out searching for Sebastian today, and they are doing this large scale search, and they have told us now that the glasses that I was showing you guys this interview because of the glasses, that the glasses are not involved. And so Sumner County Sheriff's Office said, important announcement. Attention everyone, we want to clarify that the eyeglasses found recently are not related to Sebastian Rogers. The search operation plan for today has been in the works for several days. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding. Um, who said that they were moving and went MIA? No, not Katie. BC, one of my mods, was like, "Did you see the interview that they said that Seth said that they're selling the house?" And then she just vanished. Can I ask why law enforcement didn't show Seth Katie coming home from the Texas Roadhouse and then searching the next morning to match her timeline? It's been eating away at me. That's honestly, I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know why they only showed the image of him leaving the Texas Roadhouse. You would think at some point there would be camera footage of them coming into the neighborhood or something along those lines. I did see the WSMV article saying that they moved to Memphis, and they asked during the press conference yesterday if the move to Memphis would affect their ability to communicate with them, and they said no. But I had not seen the interview from Seth saying that they we're moving to Memphis. Seth said last night that the house isn't up for sale yet. See, now you're contradicting what BC said. Yeah, there should have been some type of camera footage, and we brought this up yesterday. Like, they could have very easily shown, in Madeline Soto's case, they were able to show Stefan in the vehicle with what they presume to be Madeline already deceased. And they were able to get that from neighbors' camera footage and things like that, driving through the neighborhood, etc., to be able to see her in that vehicle. You would think that Sebastian Rogers would have the same type of being on camera in the vehicle, coming into the neighborhood, out of the neighborhood, all of those things. I'm guessing, I know that they were looking for the proof of life and that they were looking for that information, and that's what Seth had asked for, proof that he was alive after Thursday when he last spoke to him. And so maybe that was the best video that they could show him without tipping their hands onto the investigation. BC, you mentioned the interview with Seth. Where is that? I messaged you on 2 different platforms. You mentioned it and then you just kind of disappeared. Which creator's channel and when did he do the interview saying that they had put the house up for sale? Jordan Olive, thank you for joining again, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Welcome back to the family. She is no type of mother to pack up and move away while her child is missing. Chris Proudfoot is not worth it. Your child comes first, Katie. Yeah, a timeline video would help with speculation, in my opinion. I agree. I'm all for police rolling out all the things. You answered me? Where? On which? Oh my goodness. She took it down. So she took the interview down. It was taken down. Okay, so that doesn't help us. Why'd you even bring it up in chat if it's not there? Silly goose. Reality wins. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the family. So she's saying that it was on Terry Lynn last night, which I think Terry Lynn, I don't know if she takes them down or if she just puts them members only until they monetize. Let me see. No. So it's gone already. Gosh, I like halted the whole world. Yeah, why take the interview down? You're hearing that it was a rumor. Okay. Okay. So let me look at this. Thank you so much, Mallory. BC in here spreading rumors with no proof. Jeez. Dang, BC. You're killing me. There we go. This is their home. This is the correct address. It is not for sale. It has not been listed for sale. So there it is. It is not for sale at this point. Thank you so much. You're hearing that it was a rumor. You didn't know she took it down until you went to look for it. I know. Oh, sleuths, they're always so long. I can't. It came from Seth. Okay. I believe you. I know she got the chat all rowdy. Mods in here throwing speculation and rumors out. No, she does. She puts them, she like does these extremely long lives and then she has him on. But she takes them down until they process for the monetization. And And then that way she can get the views for, like, the people going back in to rewatch stuff, and I don't blame her, you know what I mean? It just but it probably won't be back up for about 12 hours or so, because whenever you have extremely long lives like that, um, whenever you have extremely long lives like that, they they take forever to process. It was 17 hours? How do you even go live for 17 hours? Does she take bathroom breaks? That's a long time. It's up for sale on websites. Okay. Yeah, there's multiple different websites and things like that that you can use. I don't know. Where are they searching now? I know. 17 hours. Who has time to watch that? I don't know. Oh, good lord. All right, let's go back to the case. Let's get back to reality. Let me get here. So let me show you guys where the search is. We'll start there. How about that? Okay. So this is where their house is located. 108 Stafford, right? This is it. The construction site, the school. This right here is where they staged the search. And then they are searching this 6 to 10 mile radius in here, basically. So they're staged right here at this building. And then they're searching like kind of like a circle around here. As you see, there is some pretty dense woods and things like that just behind this area where they're searching, but this is the area. And so again, it's just going over things that they have already searched before, making sure that they didn't miss anything or whatever. Ringo. Right. Yeah, keep in mind Seth is a bit sleep deprived and overwhelmed. He could be mistakenly answer a question and not even realize it, poor guy. Yes, we do know that the glasses were not his. It took 3 days to post on all of the websites. Okay. Yeah, it could be a private listing not to raise any suspicions. With the current attention spans of populace, I'm surprised that anybody watches more than an hour, to be perfectly frank. I used to keep all of my live streams to an hour, if you remember, so that people could watch them on the replay crew, because we did have like a really strong replay crew. But I will tell you that the it seems like the general YouTube audience at this point prefers to click into one live and stay there like all day. I see multiple lives done for I mean, I remember whenever a bunch of creators attacked another creator because she was doing 8-hour streams, and then now those same creators that were like, "I can't believe she does 8-hour streams," are doing like 8 to 12-hour streams, right? It just seems to be the new thing that everybody just lives inside of a channel chat all day. I don't know. The reason for the disappearance is because the mother wanted to move to Memphis, but because of the father in custody no, I don't think so. They have a pretty open custody agreement. I know. CJ had over a 7-hour live last night from the searching to podcast. Seth called in towards the end. Yeah, you found the old listing. Realtor.com. Yes, has every listing and it's updated daily. And that's what we just looked at. It's not there. All right, let's see what we got. Here's this. TBI special agents are joining investigators and deputies with Sumner County Sheriff's Office and multiple trained search teams from surrounding counties in a ground search in Sumner County today as part of the effort to find Sebastian Rogers. More info below from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Also, we have been made aware that altered versions of the TBI Amber Alert poster are being circulated throughout social media, indicating that they have been verified. They have not. The poster that was developed has been distributed through TBI missing person units, is the one below in the comment section. So please make sure that you are utilizing the correct flyer. The correct flyer is this one. Now, there was a creator who took it upon herself to alter this flyer and change the photo. It was a lot of controversy, I guess, about that. This is the official flyer, though. So just make sure that you are, if you're going to utilize the official flyer or try to utilize the TBI flyers, that you make sure that you do it the right one. This photo had been added. This is from Christmas of this past year, I guess. Now, the original photo is extremely blurry. There were some alterations made to this photo in order to put it onto the flyer the way that it was, that the intentions were to show him what he looks like without glasses. Whether your intentions are good or bad, do not alter official flyers. That's a no-no. And so if you don't like those flyers, there is also other flyers. I like this one because it's green and that's his favorite color. And so, there are other flyers that you can utilize, but yeah, you listen to lives all day, but not normally the same one. You listen with your AirPods while you work and put a little music in your Bluetooth. I know. So the picture itself is a real picture. The picture itself is a real picture, but it was altered. And by altered, what I mean is it was blurry and then they unblurried it. Now, I don't know. I don't know all the details. I don't really care all the details. I just wanted to show you guys that TBI is saying, to utilize the official flyer. Just looking to see if there's any updates or any new information about the search out here. Out here on the Twitter. I will never call it X, by the way. Never.
Actional this one. Well,
Wasn't sure if that was going to be actual, a helicopter flying overboard. Let me see if there's anything on Facebook. While I'm looking, let me put this back on. We can listen to some more of this interview.
A 15-year-old boy who has autism, a sweet boy. The way that you have this, every interview that I watch of you, the way you describe him. Why? Now that could have been even a small motive of him disappearing. For all we know, allegedly, I don't know. And I'm very careful with my words, Seth. But all that we do know, and all I want to know is, I don't have time for the United Cajun. There's all this beef between a podcaster and them. I don't care. I care about finding your son. And you have provided the most details of all the interviews that I ever watched. Now you're going to sit here and tell me that your team found the glasses? Why TBI is telling me they have found it and they can either confirm, but you can at least give me a small confirmation and say, I'm sure, but I can't confirm. And I appreciate that because the public is trying to help you. Who said it? Nancy Grace said it. Vinny said it. I'm saying it. Yes, the public is important. Social media is important. Don't let them tell you that it's not. You over here on different podcasters, you came to me. It is important because we're 0.4 miles. That's 22 minutes by car drive. All right. From that being said, not one camera picked up Sebastian. Now, there has been many rumors, and I don't like it, and that's why I'm glad I'm talking to you. His shoes were still at home, correct?
Yes.
Were they ever thrown out?
What do you mean? Were they ever thrown out?
There's been rumors, and I'm not saying this, but his shoes being thrown out, or his shoes were still all there, and yet he went missing. The only thing that was taken was a keychain. Is that correct?
It was supposedly a flat, like a keychain flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
something you'd win at like if you were playing skee ball and got tickets, things like that.
Ah, I see. But his phone and everything was still left behind.
Correct.
Now, I did hear that Chris's grandparents left to Alaska just a couple of days after. Did you hear about that?
I heard about that. I heard about that the day they returned.
It was only the grandparents that it was a couple days, correct? Did you, if I'm not mistaken. Seth,
I'm here.
I'm sorry if it's a lot. I don't mean to
Well,
bombard you with questions. I do
not,
apologize.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's just the fact that I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know. I was.
Sorry. So the FBI is involved in the TBI and the Secret Service and Sumner County Police.
Wasn't. I mean, as a father
Mhm.
that's divorced, I expect her to go on with her life just like I'm going to go on with mine. The difference is, I take things. I guess I feel more strongly about things. So, like, I've been divorced for what 8 years now,
Right.
and the only person that stays in my house is Sebastian.
I believe I think I know what you're trying to say is that you don't know much because of how long you were divorced, and whatever happens there was not either communicated with you or you were just divorced.
I was divorced. She was no longer a part of my life. The only thing that connected her to me was our son.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't stick my nose into their business, which is why I didn't know a lot of the stuff that was going on.
Mm.
And I guess maybe I should have.
Yeah, but something like this you could have not known. You were involved in your child's life. You could only do so much. It hurts when I hear from the news that they at one point stopped talking to you. Is that correct? Or I want to get this correct and I want to get the facts right.
I agree with this. Oh, Jesus loves me. Welcome, by the way. Seth doesn't live with Katie and Chris, and so I'm sure there's a lot he doesn't know. I mean, there's stuff that happens, I'm sure, at his house that they don't know about, right? It's just the way that things happen whenever you are co-parenting. Now, as far as the CPS case goes, I am kind of upset that they didn't tell him about that. If anything, he probably can pursue some type of accountability for them not telling him. If, for example, if it is very, very little chance in my mind, but if something nefarious did happen to Sebastian Rogers, and God forbid that he was somehow harmed inside of this home or something along those lines, Seth is going to have a wrongful death lawsuit all day long against CPS because they didn't notify him that abuse was taking place inside of that home. Yeah, why would CPS not notify him? He is a co-parent. Like he is partial custody of this child. They're supposed to tell each other. Yeah, it's something that should have absolutely been discussed with Seth immediately. Any type of claims like that. Right? You can tell he's operating on fuse. It's real, genuine. Katie's actions do not seem normal for the mom of a missing child. I mean, that's up for debate, right? We've seen missing parents do all types of things. I agree seclusion works. If anything nefarious happened to Sebastian that is a result of some type of abuse, he's got a lawsuit all day long. all day. The lack of notification by CPS is, yeah, it is. It is skinny. CPS lady had, ew, how do you know that? Gina? I think that's just, good morning, Blondie. They drop the ball a lot. It does happen a lot. We don't know chronic. CPS cases are, I mean, obviously he was still in their custody, but CPS cases are closed to the public, which is one of the things that I actually disagree with. I think it should be public information. And I use the example, if my neighbors are being investigated by CPS as somebody who is a concerned individual for just in general, children, people, whatever. I follow true crime. Maybe that makes me be more concerned than most. But I would keep an extra eye out for those kids, knowing that there potentially could be something going on. If I noticed that they were missing or noticed any extra bruises or you know what I mean? Different things like that. If I was aware that there was some type of case going on. We could all help watch out for these kids, these vulnerable children. The one from yesterday, cringe. Ugh, I'm gonna need a timestamp. I really don't wanna watch the whole thing. We could never. We could never, like, honestly, they're all so long. No, it's still not there. You're seeing the one from the day before yesterday, from 2 days ago. There was allegedly one from last night that was 17 hours long. Didn't CP say CPS came and said it was nothing and talked with Sebastian about saying things that were not true? I know we all think that that's a lie. But if it's true, could that explain why Seth didn't know? I mean, if they found it unfounded. If they found that it was unfounded and it didn't go into an investigation, I would think that they should still notify you. I mean, honestly, Ringo, so you live in a separated house. Unfounded or not, wouldn't you want to be alerted that some type of investigation had been sparked into your baby mama's house? Wouldn't you want to know that information whether or not it was proved or disproved? You better tell me, you know, so that I can look into those claims because you can hide things from CPS. You ain't gonna hide something from me, from a mom, from a concerned parent. Teacher said that there was marks on Sebastian. Wow. Yeah, I hope she puts it back up. I'm sure she will, probably after the processing is done. Yeah, Chris said it during one of his first interviews. The interview is Smiley. He said about that the CPS worker basically called Sebastian a liar and then came out and apologized to Chris for the inconvenience. Yeah, you would wanna know 100%, absolutely. I know he wasn't on that long, but the video itself is 17 hours, like, I would need, like, a timestamp of where we needed to go. I just can't with that long of a video. Yes, by law, Seth should have still been notified anyway. They were still at the house investigating, right? You did a search on YouTube this morning. You search for Sebastian Rogers, and there are a lot of videos on this, right? Yes, Danielle, we do know that the glasses are not his. We did show that on the actual Facebook page. So I'm not sure, Angela. We don't know an exact timeline that occurred because they the way that Chris said things, the way that Chris said things about the belt was he said that Sebastian took 3 separate incidents and tied them together basically and mixed them all together with whenever he told his teachers. I know. I don't believe that for a second. But again, right, there's so many children cases that CPS failed. Harmony, AJ, Malia, Angel. There's a lot. There's a lot. Ariel. There's a lot. All right, I'm actually going to play Nick Barris from last night. He was talking with the police officers yesterday. I want to see
doing
I haven't watched this yet, so I don't know what information he gives or doesn't give. But this is the latest on Sebastian Rogers. And yeah, let's just watch and see what all he says.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Nick Barris coming to you. It is Tuesday night, coming to you from Nashville. Just finished doing a quick hit with Court TV, and now said that I'd rather now join you, the followers who have been paying so close attention to this, especially locally, but across the country, Facebook Live, to talk about some of the new developments. I try to go live whenever there are new developments, as we did in the Riley Strain case. Don't really have anything new to share with you on that, though I think I will later this week. And of course, Sebastian Rogers, which case does continue as they work to explain where he went and find Sebastian Rogers. So many of you, if you were paying attention today, saw that there was a news conference held by investigators. Basically, Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, he was there to kind of guide us through what they're doing from the investigative side at that level. Also, Susan Nyland with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was there. Also in attendance, but not talking, was Ken Widener, the EMA director, and basically filling us in on just the very latest on the investigation. I should also say that that news conference came later and was relatively brief, but earlier in the morning, Eric was kind enough to grant me an exclusive interview one-on-one where we sat and talked about a number of things in the case beyond what you heard in that news conference, which I shared here streaming live. So I can talk a little bit about that, but I'll hit you on what the significant maybe points were today. First, let me say, a lot of people asking, well, why did they do a news conference today? And maybe some people were a little disappointed, like they're holding a news conference, there must be something really big to announce. And there wasn't. I think what law enforcement decided was there had been, let's face it now, 5 weeks, more than 5 weeks since Sebastian disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And in that time, at least the last 2 or 3 weeks, there had been no more news conferences, and with good reason. They didn't have anything really new to report, and they're spending time doing the investigation. So there was nothing really new at that point. But in that vacuum, the rumors on social media have run wild, absolutely wild. And to hear Eric Craddock say absolutely nothing of value has come from the speculation, rumors, and frankly, I've seen some of it, pure garbage that's on social media that people run with and are making claims about. A lot of it is flat out fiction. A lot of other stuff there are theories. And you know what? We all have theories. And I guess I can live with that. A lot of other stuff is making accusations with absolutely no evidence or proof, which is simply not fair. And then part of that is those who continue to say, oh, it's got to be the stepfather. It's got to be the mom. I mean, it just can't not be them. Well, wrong. There's no evidence linking them, okay? But I will say this. I had heard the stepfather say on more than one occasion that authorities had met with him and said he had been cleared. He had been cleared, meaning that there are people that have been cleared entirely of any possibility of suspicion in this case. Today, in definitive terms, Eric Craddock told me absolutely no one has been cleared. And he followed that up, though, by saying there is no evidence right now of foul play. And he said that all of the stories coming from the parents who have fully cooperated have checked out, and there's no indication that they are involved. But for anyone to say they've been cleared.
So this is something that I think a lot of people misunderstood me pointing this out yesterday during the press conference, because what I did was I typed exactly what he said and put it up on the screen. And then, of course, people are like all up in arms because they want the parents to be guilty and blah, blah, blah. Right. But I think it's important that they can't clear anybody until they literally know what happened to Sebastian. Right. They can't clear anybody until that point. Every single person in the world, you, me, whoever, everybody is a suspect in this case right now. Pretty sure I seen BC with Sebastian. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But everybody is a suspect until they know what happened to Sebastian. But the point is, they don't have anything so far that indicates that the parents have been involved in any type of foul play. That means they haven't found blood evidence. They haven't found, like, there's been no, like, decomposition. There's been no, salacious text messages back and forth to each other about hiding him or moving him to a different location. There's been no evidence that they have put him absolutely anywhere at this point. And I think it's important that the police are saying, hey, we haven't cleared them, but they've done everything that we've asked them to do. And there's still no indication of any type of foul play, right? Yeah, some people don't know how this process works, and they get up in a tizzy if the words aren't said right in their minds. And that's it, And I think that happens a lot, especially in cases where if you are new to true crime and you have not been following true crime up until a child in your neighborhood goes missing, or some reason that it brought you to the internet to see this case, right? And so you're watching and you're hearing the things that the police are saying and stuff like that. And, like, it's hard if you don't know how the process typically works. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, we typically, if a parent is involved, you will see them come right out and indicate that the parent is involved. Does that make sense? Um, or that they're looking in that direction. I mean, look at the way that they did things with Madeline Soto's case. It was very, very quickly that they, arrested Stefan. It was very, very quickly in Cody Bigsby's case that they did the press conference and basically let us know that, hey, we're looking at the father in this situation. Yeah, she said that they had pretty much done what they had asked. And I'm just imagining that they're saying that they had pretty much done what has been asked, because I can just imagine that Chris has been difficult, right? Dude just wants to control absolutely everything. Again, his his personality and mine would clash every single day. I would not get along with him. I do not think that he is a likable person. But I do not think that that means that he did anything to harm Sebastian. And so that's where we're at. I know you're still on the fence about the Proudfoots. Right. And on the Audrey Cunningham case, they immediately put out the vehicle of interest, which was the vehicle that was belonging to the suspect, things like that. You have to watch kind of how they do things. Well, that's true. Casey Anthony, we still do not know that the Wells are involved in Summer Wells' disappearance. And I know that that kills a lot of you guys, because everybody wants Dawn and Candace to be the ones who did this, but we still don't know. We still don't know. It's another one of those cases where we have no freaking clue what happened to Summer Wells. And I'm just saying, ever since the Athena Strand case, I now question, could a situation like that be something involved in Summer Wells' case? Athena Strand was kidnapped by the FedEx driver. Taken by the FedEx driver and unalived. Walked out of her house minutes after an argument with her stepmom. God, the way the internet attacked her stepmom. Minutes after an argument, she walked outside and was kidnapped by the freaking FedEx guy. What are the chances? In the middle of nowhere. Neighbors right across the street were her family. Just vanished like that in seconds. Like, that's a parent's worst freaking nightmare. No lie. In seconds from her yard in the middle of freaking nowhere. Just a random ass FedEx driver. We don't know, but in this case, we can't be sure. I can be unsure and also not to advocate. Listen, I get it. I get it. I'm just saying it does happen. It does happen where it looks suspicious all around. Like I said, from day one, I've watched these interviews with these parents with the Proudfoots, and I'm like, they're hiding something. I mean, right off the bat, watching those interviews, they're hiding something. And I really think, though, it's about the fact that they have been hiding that their relationship was tumultuous, that they have a bad relationship, that they're not a happy, healthy family, and they didn't want people to know that. Now we're hearing that they might have been separating. Obviously, dude's on his fifth wife. He could have already been cheating on her. They could have been arguing. Who freaking knows? But could have been anything. Yeah, same with Michael Vaughn. Same with Michael Vaughn. Same with Faye. Yes, another one. Mom watched her go out to the backyard. She vanished in seconds. In seconds. It does happen. Very much so does happen. And it's crazy, right? But, we look at these cases and we get our opinions. And I'm not telling anybody in here that your opinion is right or wrong or whatever. Feel free to have your opinion. Just make sure that if you state your opinion, that you're stating it as such. I don't want anybody to come in and read your message and think that you're saying something factual in the chat and it's just your opinion, right? Hi, Brianna. How are you? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he found a way to teleport. Who knows? We really just don't know. We really just don't know what happened to him. And I wish we did. Yeah, when you type that there's no evidence. Yeah. I agree. In my opinion, they're hiding their bad relationship and most likely abuse or mistreatment towards Sebastian. Can't say that the child was not mistreated, at least by Chris. Right. But mistreating a child does not necessarily mean that you killed him. Right? And don't get me wrong, I am the first person to tell you that Chris Proudfoot reminds me of Corey Bigsby, right? Chris Proudfoot reminds me of Letitia Stalk with how he acts. All these different things where his personality lines up with these personality types that we have seen unalive their children in the past. But he was 3.5 hours away. He wasn't even there. So, from what we understand, right? We have no proof that he was anywhere but where he says he was at this point. And I was hoping that the police would clarify, the timelines or his alibi or something along those lines, but I know it's part of the investigation. They're not going to do that. But I think that laying rumors like that to rest could be extremely helpful. Chris Watts, right? And so that's what I mean. I understand the red flags that you guys have. I totally understand. In your opinion, you need to stop jumping to conclusions right off the bat and wait until I missed that. Wait until I get more evidence, testimony, or otherwise. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard though, because we all want to know what happened. Yeah, people can act suspicious for all kinds of reasons, but it's not necessarily tied to be, to be tied to the case at hand. I agree with that. Chris Proudfoot can act however he wants to, but it could just be more along the lines of wanting to have that perfect perception of himself out on social media, not wanting to look like a bad guy. And some people say that they had no problem with his interview. I was watching Gray Hughes last night, and he was yelling at half the chat, calling them idiots and everything else because he does not have any suspicions or problems or anything else like that with the parents' interviews. He thinks that they're completely normal. He thinks that everybody who's reading more into it is doing just that they're just reading more into it, putting our personal feelings, our personal outlooks, and everything else like that onto the case and just wanting to hate the parents. And he could very much so be right. But again, you know, there are people out there who don't have issues with anything. You do understand the possible distraction from the search. You also understand trying to find some information to break the case, right? You blame Katie far more. She's Sebastian's mother, and she sat back and let Chris abuse her child. The one person who is supposed to protect him the most betrayed him in the worst way, right? You knew the glasses that was found was red herring, right? Me too, Sluice. Me too. I can't remember what he referred to the sluice as. I can't remember. I gotta go back. He said a word last night. I was cracking up. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm gonna play this again. Let me hit play. I just wanted to chit chat.
Is simply wrong. Is simply wrong. And I think it would be ridiculous for law enforcement at this stage in the investigation to say anyone has been cleared. So that is simply not true. But on the other hand, that does not mean anyone is guilty, and it doesn't mean the parents are in any way. As he said, at this point, no evidence of foul play. But keep in mind, again, they are not ruling that out. All right, what else did we learn today? We learned, and I thought this was interesting, that they learned that within the past few days, and I didn't get the details of exactly how or where, a pair of eyeglasses has been recovered, I assume from the neighborhood. And these eyeglasses now are being checked to see if they perhaps were eyeglasses that belonged to Sebastian. We all know, we've seen pictures of him wearing glasses. Now, I'm not sure. My understanding is they may have been found a few days ago. And so for the life of me, I don't understand why it's taking so long to figure out if these are his glasses. That's really pretty easy to figure out, I would think. Show the parents, what do you think? Are these his glasses? Check the prescription, find out where they're from. Are these his? That should be. Now, if they are his glasses, okay, that would be the very first piece and only piece of hard physical evidence.
Just want to remind you guys that we do know now that the glasses are not his glasses.
That has been recovered since he disappeared. Now, what does that mean? Well, I guess depending on where it was found, it could help guide some of the search. But beyond that, I don't see it as being all that significant. But at this point, I do not know whether or not the glasses found were his. But it seems to me there's a good possibility they might be, and hopefully we'll learn that soon. What else did we learn today? What we learned in my sit-down interview, and it's in my story that I'll share on my page that aired at 6 o'clock on News Channel 5. I went back and asked Eric Craddock, again, lead investigator for the Sheriff's Department, about the video that was collected from homes, security video, ring camera video from the night Sebastian disappeared. And as we've said all along, to this point, they say that there was nothing of substance found in any videos. Many of you will know last month I ran an exclusive story with a clip of some videos taken in the night around the time that we believe Sebastian disappeared from around his home, pitch black. All you see are a couple of what looks like isolated lights moving around outside the home, okay? Don't know what it is. Could it be someone with flashlights? Sebastian may be left with a flashlight. Looks like there may be someone else. It's not car headlights. Could it be some kind of reflection? Could it be someone else walking out there with a dog with a light? Possibly. I don't know what it is, but it clearly seems to me that there was some form of light out there that night near the home that looked suspicious. Well, not long after that story aired, I know that, authorities said that that video has been vetted, was scrutinized by both the Sheriff's Department and the TBI, and they said it had no evidentiary value, meaning that they didn't think it had any bearing on the case. I will tell you, after that story aired, I had law enforcement, more than one person in law enforcement, ask me where I got that video, wondering, hey, where did you get that? How did you get that? And of course, I don't divulge my sources, but I did get it, and it's genuine. Now, what was interesting in my conversation with Eric today, I brought that video up again, and I said, okay, so you said of no evidentiary value. And he said, yep, of no evidentiary value. And I said, okay, can you tell me then what those lights were, though, so we can know what they were, if it's not of evidentiary value? And he said, no. And I said, why? And he said, because this is still an active criminal investigation. Okay. So if it's of no evidentiary value, why does it have any bearing to the criminal investigation? So what I next asked him then, so are you telling me depending on how things develop, what we see in that video with those lights could at some point become more significant. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing more or less, but along the lines, we don't know what we don't know. So yes, depending on what develops down the road, that video could become more significant. All right, so at least that's something that we have that looks like they've gotten the evidence file. We know that for a fact, that for now they're saying does not have any significance to it. But there's supposed to be more video to it. I know we've heard some of the parents say that they were told that it's not significant. That may all be true, and it may not be, and maybe nothing of note. But all I know is what the chief deputy told me today, and going back to it, we don't know what we don't know. It's still in the evidence file, and maybe down the road it develops to something else. I don't understand why they won't at least then say what the light is if they're saying it's of no value. Why not just tell us?
See, and this is the frustration that I think everybody shares with this case, because if there's no anything, then why not just tell us? Like, why does Tennessee in general have to be so freaking secretive? It drives me insane. Hi, Chase. How are you? Yeah, Seth said it was garbage trucks. I don't know. I know what he said, and I know that like the timestamp allegedly on the video is completely wrong and all those things. Right. Seth said that the flashlight is small and yellow and that he always had it for reading at night. So, what are you trying to type? Type words. She must be driving. Maybe if it was really garbage trucks, that's why they checked the landfill. Right. Definitely possible. I think that's more plausible than the heavy trash can story that people keep saying. Because allegedly their trash trucks use like the arm things to pick up trash cans. So I don't know how true that is. So, yeah, he said he saw the full screen video of it and that was the reflection of the truck lights. Right? I agree. You just don't think he's as autistic as he's being portrayed. He could have very well run away. Yeah, if you ever plan to go missing, do not do it in Tennessee or West Virginia. West Virginia is equally as horrible about updates and information and investigations and all of the things. Don't go missing in those two states. I know, see, I'll use your words. You are struggling. No evidence of anything. I know, they will probably find him eventually when someone is taking a stroll. I don't think he's dead. I hate that. I know, and I know that there's so many of you guys who do. I just don't. Hi, Mo, by the way. So did the neighbor with the camera, Shaggy, that would be my assumption, is that he got it from the person with the camera or somebody who knows the person with the camera, and maybe that person sent it to them and then they sent it to somebody else. I don't know. You'd be curious what TV shows or movies Sebastian liked if he watched any Survivor shows. Oh, that's interesting. He may have knowledge to hide out and move when he needs to. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, they will not solve it. And if they do, they ain't gonna tell nobody. Like, I mean, honestly. You're trying to mow and chat at the same time? That's talent there. The landfill they checked was not for home trash, it was for construction dumpster. Okay, at the new home development. Thank you so much, Gina. I know. I refuse to commit either way. I know I did see the rumor around Gatlinburg. Watching all of these cases, it makes you think about things you would do in life that would look bad if your child or spouse went missing. Live your lives on a straight and narrow path. No, you don't even have to do that. Right now, every single one of you in this chat, go to your social media sites and make sure that your stuff is set to private. You can share it friends only. Everybody who is one of your friends can see your stuff, but don't leave your stuff public. The reason that we can see and dig into these families, and the reason some of these cases get as big as they do against families, is because their social medias are open. Turn it to privacy. Turn it to private. So that way, whenever Joe Schmo down the road, if something, God forbid, happens and your second cousin goes missing or something along those lines, you can't get dug into just because you were talking to somebody else, or the people in your life can't get dug into. I mean, we go to social media sites, and I'm guilty for this too. What happens is you go like this. Let me pick a random person on this public stream, right? This is a public stream. And if your profiles are public, guess what? That's public information. Oh, it's not letting me scroll. Hold on. Oh, it's not letting me scroll. Let me see here. And this is horrible to do this. And I know people are going to be like, I can't believe she did this. But watch how easy this is. This is a public, Nick Barris is a public channel. And because Susie hit the heart button, I can now go to her Facebook page and see her public, all of this is public post. Some people have their list of friends public. Put it all private, guys. Put it all private. She actually is pretty locked down. It's just her reels. But I'm just saying, this is how people,
All right, good evening.
like JLR, like any of us, honestly, we randomly will sleuth the cases and look into every single person that's ever commented on every single photo or every single whatever. This is how you track down. Look, I can see every single person who has liked. I can see her entire friends list, and any single one of them that have a public profile, I'm going to look through that information. This is how they do that, right? These are just random people who commented on this random post. But say Dawn Anderson has a child go missing, or has somebody that she knows get unalived or go missing. And now she is subjected, because her profile is public, to being scrutinized and put onto this public
All right, good evening, everyone.
And looked at, because guess what? Anything that is public information on Facebook can be shared. There's no rules against that. Yeah, and always use a different username for every social media account. Don't have them all the same. People can Google that and see anywhere that you use that one. And your email address, protect it with your life. You will not believe the amount of information I can get from somebody's email address. Everything. If your email address is the same from profile to profile to profile, if you use it for your social media, for your PlayStation, for whatever, protect your email address with your life. I'm not even kidding, guys. Everything. Make it private. And use a separate email address if you're going to email anybody from this platform about anything. I'm just saying. Protect yourself. Yeah, you like public profiles because you're nosy. Right. And this is how we get your information, though. This is how we find out about your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriends, your skeletons in your closet, your second cousin, and the things that happen to them. All of that. I'm just trying to help you guys out. YouTube, Facebook, email, your email. I can pull up everything about you. Every information that you've ever had that you've utilized that email with. Gina H sent me an email. I'll check it out. Let me look. I can pull up everything, though, just from your email. You don't even have to have your social media out there. I can just look at your email and run it through the thing and get every account that's ever been associated with that email. I got a couple emails. Sorry, guys. I suck at checking my emails. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I totally sucks. Totally suck. Yeah. Crispy likes on Facebook aren't hidden, and that's a yikes for me. Yeah. Dude likes him, some women, just saying. I'm shocked that the guy with 5 wives follows multiple people on Facebook. I live nearby my neighborhood. I've seen this already, Gina, but that's crazy. I didn't know you were a like, yeah. Anyways. See, so I don't know about this. That I don't know about because I have heard that before. As far as what we can see on our end about subscribers, we can see who you publicly subscribe to. If your subscriptions are listed as private, we can't see anything outside of that. But as far as information from a YouTube platform, from this platform itself, it's very, very difficult to track somebody from YouTube alone. Because it does not give us information like that. Now, if you upload a video, just by you uploading a video or posting a live stream or something along those lines, we can track your IP address. We can track your location of the video where it was uploaded. Did you guys know that? I can't tell you, Ashley Oaks. It's a secret. But that's why whenever he went missing and I was saying about what his different platforms are or what his email address was that he was using potentially, that's information that we could have found. We could have found every single type of profile that he's ever made with that. I mean, there was a missing girl that we were helping look for information for her parents, and she had been on dating sites and everything else we were able to track. Like a 15-year-old was on dating websites posing as an older person. Stop, Chase. That's horrible. I'm just telling you guys. A VPN will change, like, it will change your location, but it doesn't change your information. Yeah, turn off your location on your phone, your laptop, etc. Yeah, and even if everything's private, then we can still get your court records and other public information. By the time you learned all of this, you had already totally exposed yourself on YouTube. So too late for me. Well, so I learned all of this because that's how I was doxxed. Well, part of how I was doxxed. So part of how I was doxxed. Arctic Fox True Crime and Moms for the Missing doxed me to Jim Terry. So that's why I don't, they doxed me to Jim Terry for $500 because I ordered a United to Find Harmony Montgomery bracelet. And so they had my information and sold me out. Have a nice trip to the grocery store. But before I was doxxed, somebody pulled my email addresses and showed me that I was connected through my email addresses to an online account that I had I had to download for one of my daughters had a online appointment. And because of that online appointment, my name showed up on that document that they found through that. So. Yep. So anyways, let me go back to this.
We've heard some of the parents say that they were told that it's not significant. That may all be true, and it may not be, and maybe nothing of note. But all I know is what, the chief deputy told me today, and going back to it. We don't know what we don't know. It's still in the evidence file, and maybe down the road it develops to something else. I don't understand why they won't at least then say what the light is if they're saying it's of no value. Why not just tell us? Okay. I mean, I think I've seen in some interviews, one of the parents said, well, they were told it was a garbage truck or something like that. Watch the video yourself. Go on there and look at it. It's not a garbage truck. Okay. And maybe it's reflection from something. Maybe it's garbage workers with lights on there picking up trash. That could be. I'm not saying it's Sebastian. I'm not saying it's someone out there that was grabbing him, but it is not headlights from a truck, and it's not a floodlight. Okay. It's not. Look at it. I mean, at some point, some common sense has to come into play here on that. But it may mean nothing. And even if it is significant, you can't make anything out from it. But so that's a development there, that light, those lights in the back of the house may down the road be significant. For now, as far as we know, they are not. We know that they found some glasses. Again, I believe they held that news conference today because in the vacuum, social media has been running wild with rumors, speculation, and that only harms the search. And then, you ask them at this point, what exactly do you do after you've done as much of searching as you can? And we know family and other volunteers and YouTubers have been on their own out there posting posters and searching in areas outside the original search field. And I think that's great. It can't hurt. But, responding to tips from psychics or just going at random, maybe you get lucky, but if there's no basis for looking some of those areas, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. But the truth is, at this point, you have to assume that Sebastian could be anywhere. So I certainly don't begrudge anyone looking anywhere for him because, heck, I guess he could be there. But the search, according to law enforcement, continues. My understanding is what they're going to do now, having searched up to 6 to 10 mile radius, homes, basements, caves, ponds, sinkholes from the home over the past 5 weeks, they're now going to go back and do it again. And go back and see if there's anything there that they missed. See if there is something new that's developed in one of these locations. That's what's going to happen next. They're going to go back and retrace their steps with a new set of eyes. And I just want to say from the very beginning, and I think some people, because they haven't found anything, because there haven't been news conferences, have been critical of law enforcement, TBI. And by the way, the FBI is cooperating and helping in this. But critical saying, oh, they don't know what they're doing. That no, these armchair detectives at home thinking that these guys aren't responding to tips or aren't there looking are simply wrong. And law enforcement, and Craddock said it well today, cannot deal with emotions and feelings. And trust me, all of these folks, the professionals looking for him, feel it and desperately want to find Sebastian safe and sound. But they have to deal with evidence and facts. And they stick with it. And if they don't have something new to report, they're not going to make something up to pacify some of these folks out on social media that are coming up with things that's just pure garbage. I don't pay much attention to it anymore. I just don't. Some of the stuff that's out there is just sheer ridiculousness. And it doesn't help in any way. But those out there on their own volunteering, looking, the Cajun Navy, and I don't have any more details on some of the controversy around the Cajun Navy, but hey, I don't say that they're any more significant than any other volunteer that's out there looking, but I think they're all significant as added eyes looking and reporting if they find anything. And I think that's fantastic. I hope they continue to do that. But that's basically where we stand. Nothing really significant new today to report except for the glasses, and that they plan to continue looking, and that they're asking the public to keep calling in tips. I think Susan Nyland with the TBI said that since he's disappeared, the TBI 1-800-TBI find has received more than 300 tips, most of which have been vetted and checked out and have come back negative. I actually have been sent videos from people from around the region that they've taken of young men that seem to resemble Sebastian. There was one video that I got, someone sent me from Kentucky, of someone who looked like Sebastian, same general haircut, glasses. You couldn't see his face, with someone in a convenience store. They sent that to me. I forwarded it to the TBI and to Eric Craddock with the sheriff's department. I think they may have already received it. They checked that out, found out it was not him. But they go after every lead they can find. But I can tell you this, they're not wasting time going after, tips that are not credible or that are not based in some sort of fact, because they don't have the resources to waste. They're focused in and they know what they're doing. But I understand, I guess, why some of this runs wild on social media, because we all are frustrated that he has not been found. But this is not law enforcement's fault. I've seen it. I've covered missing children cases before. And from the beginning, I believe TBI, sheriff, FBI involvement have done everything by the book, and they continue to work it. They continue to work it and will not give up. And I know Ken Widener with EMA the same way. He got emotional. I didn't use it in my story, but I asked him, how has this been affecting you? And he said, please don't show this, because you could tell his voice was cracking. These guys are dead serious, and they want to do it, but they want to do it right. So they find him as quickly as he can, safe and sound. So wanted to put that out there for you. I'm going to scroll back through and see if there's any questions or comments from you that I can try to answer from today. And then we'll wrap it up. But see if anyone has observations, and a lot of people following this. And by the way, some questions here I see about Riley. And Riley is going to... a question. I'm sorry, I was looking at someone's line about Riley Strain, the continued investigation. And if you're just joining us, Riley Strain, of course, disappeared from downtown Nashville, was gone for about a week, and then his body was found in the Cumberland. There's going to be another development on that before the end of the week that I'll be reporting on, and I'll let you know. They do not know, I don't know, his family does, but I haven't heard what brand of boots or jeans he had on. When his body was recovered, his boots and jeans were gone. And so that's a question. Could they have come off naturally in the river? Sure. But I've had other experts tell me that's unusual. So were they removed by someone? We don't know. That's part of what we're looking into. But I'll have more on Riley Strain's case coming up. But of course, in that case, his body sadly has been recovered. And I mean that we were hoping to find him alive. Of course, Sebastian is still missing. Other people following this from around the country, Illinois and other places, Knoxville. Yeah, nothing significantly new today. I'll vouch for it, but they felt they needed to speak out because we hadn't heard from them in a while. Some people asking about the Cajun Navy and some people there claiming that there was threats being made against them. And there may have been. I don't know firsthand, but today I asked law enforcement if any police or criminal reports had been filed on behalf of the Cajun Navy reporting these threats made against them, which I would think, if someone makes a threat against me that I'm worried about, I'm going to report it to law enforcement. And they said they haven't received any reports from Cajun Navy. So I really don't know what to think about these reports. And I don't know why anyone would want to threaten them. But I don't have any confirmation of that. I really can't comment along those lines. So I don't know how that's played out. Let's see. Yeah, I see. I guess maybe they had someone from the Cajun Navy on after me on Court TV tonight and talking about how they've been threatened. All I know is law enforcement said no reports have been made reporting that. And you would think they would report that if there were threats made. And again, I don't understand why anyone would threaten an organization that's just trying to help. Though I think maybe there's been some controversy around, the Cajun Navy. I don't know the details of that, but any kind of threats anyone makes is simply wrong. If that's happening, I'm sorry, and it shouldn't be. Could they be running DNA on the glasses? Not likely. I mean, they could try to see if there are any skin particles or something.
Again, we do know that the glasses at this point are not Sebastian. I'm just going to say that for anybody who joined. Let me pull this post back up. Sorry, my husband definitely walked in and was here. Oh my goodness. What is the county called? Here we are. So let me pull this post back up and show you guys that they have confirmed. Says we want to clarify that the eyeglasses recently found are not related to Sebastian Rogers. Search operation plan for today has been in the works for several days. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding. So before that, they said that they were conducting another thorough search in Long Hollow Pike area in reference to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, a young member of our community. Despite exhaustive efforts, there are no new leads or evidence to indicate that the search will be immediately fruitful. However, we are committed to leaving no stone unturned in our mission to locate Sebastian and bring him home safely. So just wanted to share that.
Like that, but considering the fact that they were just found, they've been out, I believe, probably in the elements for the past 5 weeks. It's highly unlikely there would be any DNA on those glasses they recovered. But you know what? They could look. Sometimes a hair follicle is stuck in the joint of the glasses, and that's a good point. If they found a hair follicle, they could run that. And if it came back positive for Sebastian, and I know they have other DNA to compare it with, that would confirm it. But I would think sending pictures of this pair of glasses and checking the prescription and all that with the parents would be able to confirm whether or not those glasses are his. They did not say where the glasses were found or by whom. They didn't say that today. Let's see what else. A lot of people saying, well, you need to check the GPS on the parents' vehicles. Where did they go and all this? Trust me. They've done all that. Law enforcement's not stupid. They were vetting, checking GPS, checking cell phone pings to see if what the stepfather and mother said was confirmed by their own cell phones or their vehicles. That is a no-brainer. That's standard procedure for law enforcement. They've done that, and they said it is checked out. Let's see, what else do we have?
That picture of him circulating with no glasses, though, that was not a more recent picture. It was not a more recent picture. That picture was from December. And so that's part of the controversy because it was not an updated picture of him.
Yeah, I guess someone's saying the father, maybe a biological father, said he saw the light video and said he was told it was a garbage truck. Maybe it was. I don't know about you. I've seen the video. I don't think it's a garbage truck. We can agree to disagree. If law enforcement or the TBI wants to be more specific to say, look, we vetted this, we'll tell you what this is and why it's not important, glad to listen. But until they do, especially in light of what Eric Craddock told me today, I'm going to say that remains in the criminal file. And depending on what develops down the road, it could become significant. Do I know what those lights are and what the source is? No, I don't. Could they completely be meaningless? Absolutely. Do I take them at their word right now that they are not evidentiary? Yes. But does that mean they won't be down the road if something new develops? No. We'll have to follow that. Let's see. Now, I mean, I see someone saying they showed one of the parents the entire video and it was a garbage truck. You cannot see in this video that it's a garbage truck. These lights that are down there, you cannot tell what it is. Now, it's true. What I have, and I do not have the full video, I was leaked a clip of what was said to be the significant portion that shows lights. But
yes. The photo of him without the glasses, let me pull him up. The photo of him without the glasses is an altered photo. And by altered, I mean that they unblurred it in certain areas and smoothed out other areas, things like that. But it is not the original photo. So here is the original photo. This is the original photo. Okay. Now see how blurry this is and how like grainy, gritty it is. So what they did was they used an enhancement feature. So somebody took this, they used an enhancement feature. Let me see if I can find. Let me get this pulled up. Sorry. So then they enhanced this other photo and they enhanced it, making it not blurry, smoothing out different features on him, things like that, to be this photo. But the original photo, right. They can make photos clearer and have more clarity, but they also change features. And that's the issue, right? That's the issue. They continue to contend that the photo used on the TBI flyer is the most up-to-date photo. It was taken not too long before at the Costco. Exactly. Yeah, it looks like a photo that was printed and then they took a picture of it with a phone or something along those lines. Yeah. And so that's the issue. You know, somebody altered the actual TBI flyer and used an altered photo and put on it. Now, does this photo show us, you know, what Sebastian potentially looks like without glasses? Sure. But this is also a cleaned up version of Sebastian. Keep that in mind. Because there was imperfections on this photo that this one was taken from. You know, his face was blurry, and so whenever it corrects it, it changes certain features to correct it. Does that make sense? So that's the issue, because it is an altered photo. the original was so blurry. Right. The most recent photo is on the TBI flyer. Right. The enhancement makes him appear more mature, even larger in scale, which is not inaccurate. Right. It adds like more thickness to him almost. So the alterations are minimal, but it's still Mike, from what I understand, he had given his glasses to his mom and asked her to take a picture without his glasses. Right. The TBI flyer photo was taken on 2/24. The original photo has the receipt with the date sitting on the table. It's definitely newer than the non-glasses picture. Right. Thank you so much, Nicole. So,
What you see in these lights. Now, did it come from a garbage truck across the way and somehow this is a reflection? Maybe so. But those lights that you see, what I have, those are not a garbage truck. End of story. I don't buy it. Let's see, what else do we have? Just looking. A lot of people thanking me for the coverage. Don't thank me. Like, I'm glad to do this. Just voicing my thoughts and opinions and wanting to see what all of you think. And it does my heart good to see how many people are following this. I hope we continue to share this along these lines and keep the word out for Sebastian until something develops on this case, one way or the other. All right, that's about it. What I'm going to do is wrap this up. Just a couple of points worth saying again. Law enforcement says no evidence of foul play. The parents continue to cooperate. No one has been cleared in the case, however. There likely will be more searches to come. I think some very large searches involving law enforcement, as they're not giving up. I will continue to follow this. We'll check and see what we can find out with regard to the glasses in the next couple of days if they report that information. I'll let you know if I get more details on what those videos are and if it's explained to us that it is indeed nothing. I'll make sure to share it. And like I said, it may indeed be nothing. But as it stands right now, I don't think it's something they've just thrown out of the evidence file. It's still there, and it's there for a reason. Also, just to remind you, we plan on having here another Facebook Live probably later this week. Not only maybe updating you on anything more here, but also I'm going to have some new details for you on the Riley Strain case. As you know, we're waiting for the toxicology to come back on him to see just what was in his system when he fell into the river, however he fell into the river. So all of that. Again, thank you all for joining. Share my Facebook page, Nick Barris, NC5. Feel free to message me with any questions or comments. I read them all. I don't always respond to them all, but I'll try. But I promise you I read them all. And wow, there's someone following from Australia, down under, Sherry Patton, a Tennessean. Pretty neat. All around the world actually following this story. And I know all of you, just like me, hoping and praying that somehow Sebastian is found safe and sound. But it's been more than 5 weeks. And that's a tough pill to swallow. We'll keep following it. Everyone, thanks again for joining us tonight.
morning. This is about 11 minutes long. So just showing you how many officers they have out. Like, there is a ton of people. This is a huge search that's getting ready to take place. And again, these are not volunteers. These are actual trained search and rescue police, things like that. This is the most up-to-date video, but I'm glad that the news is down there taking different videos and things like that so that we can hopefully see what's going on today. Because I know there's a lot of us curious. I wish people would teleport to get there so that we could see what's going on.
Good morning, everyone. We are here in Hendersonville, just off of Long Hollow Pike, where the Sumner County Sheriff's Department announced there was another search going to happen today up and down Long Hollow Pike. Sebastian has now been missing for more than a month. And I can tell you there are agencies from all over Middle Tennessee, multiple counties, multiple cities. There are dive teams here. There are every kind of vehicle to search with. There's UTVs, there's boats. Don't see any horses, which we saw when they did the original search, had people going on horseback, but you can see, kind of give you a pan around here just to show you the magnitude of people, searchers, first responders, different agencies that are here to help out this morning. There are 2 school buses that are parked. You can see there now that appears they're going to load those searchers onto the buses to take them to places to drop them off. We've seen Rutherford County, we've seen TWRA, we've seen Metro Police, Hendersonville, Goodlettsville, White House, Gallatin, Sumner County Sheriff, USAR teams, which is Urban Search and Rescue. They're out of Metro, dive team out of Metro. Just a large presence, probably as big as the first few days of the search for Sebastian after he went missing from his home on a Sunday night. They have searched exhaustively the neighborhoods around through there. So the only announcement this morning was that they were going to be searching along Long Hollow Pike, and they said that no stone was going to be left unturned. So not sure if they're just going to be going up and down the side of the main road there, looking off in ditches and creeks and woods lines, but that's what we're seeing and hearing right now is there will be a major search, as you can see in front of us along Long Hollow Pike. They started gathering this morning around just after 6 a.m. and they've been having each and every one sign in as they get here so they can get their assignments and be instructed on what to do and where they're going to go do that at.
No, they are Central Time Zone. And so
We've
this
seen
morning,
canine teams.
This video was
some appear to be volunteer agencies.
at
Some appear to
8:03
be
a.m.
official law enforcement, first responder, canines.
EquiSearch said that they would be back whenever more searches were done, and so they very well could be there with like drones and different things. They said that this was not.
It's interesting. The sheriff's department held a press conference yesterday.
But this is just the search that was being done.
Just to update everyone, and they said there was no new information, no new leads. But then less than 24 hours later, they show up in major force to search again. So not sure if
I cannot
something came in after their press conference or if they just had this planned
that if there was
after the press conference.
Searches, they would go.
Maybe hard to
they were there
put this much together in 12 or 13 hours, but
come back out for another search.
That's what these people train for, so they probably could get together that quick. There's been no official word to us this morning. We just saw the Facebook post that the sheriff's department put out that said there would be a search along Long Hollow Pike that was underway. So came up here and this is what we found. I'll be here most of the morning. Once they do take off, and again, believe they will load on to those buses there and be dropped off at different locations.
I was just getting ready to go check duty, Ron, because I was getting ready to say the same thing. If EquiSearch is there, he would have had Dave Rader on, most likely, and interviewed them. And so if he had them on last night, definitely go watch it, because I'm sure that they would be talking about if they were going to be involved with this today or not. So this is after 3 weeks of nothing without a specific lead. Political optics. This will be the last show, only in my opinion, of course, right? And I mean, so they do this. I know, I'm sorry. You can't understand what I'm doing while I'm playing the video. I'm sorry. They do this in cases, though, where they won't look, and then they go back through just to double check. Yeah, Dave, he did last night. I'm gonna have to go check and see. They were there. I know they were there a couple weeks ago with their drones. I'm sure that they are probably back again with their drones. It would not surprise me. He did have them on, and they did say that they were going to be searching. Thank you so much, Kimberly Wells. It wasn't a live, it was just a 15-minute clip. Okay. They only talked about what they did do already. Okay. No, I appreciate you, Jordan. So.
Locations, nobody's told us that, but that's what it appears just from doing this for some time. There's no reason for those buses to be here. This is not a school. It appears to me to be a large church, possibly where they're meeting at. But again, you can see the amount of force that has showed up today to help continue to search for Sebastian. They've asked us to stay across the road from where they are, so we are honoring that request as we stay here to cover this. Hopefully we'll get some type of an update later on this morning. And this is probably the Sebastian and Riley Strain are the two I get asked about most. Like, what could have happened? What are they telling you? What are you hearing? And really, you don't hear much. There's different theories floating around that everybody would like to think may have happened or wish wouldn't have happened, but nobody knows. They found Riley Strain within 2 weeks of his disappearance. Still, the family has questions. Just no real answer on what happened there. And with Sebastian just disappearing into thin air, family says he just disappeared from home. There was a major search that started within 24 hours. Canine, tracking dogs, helicopters, drones, foot searches, horse searches, UTVs, everything possible to search for him. I think they said there were over 5,000 or 4,000, 7,000, something like that, thousands of miles searched within a 5-mile radius. So they literally walked every foot of that property. They found some caves, different areas that they had to go into to look to see if he was there. I was even told one night they think they found a bear. It was a heat signature that was picked up with the helicopter. They flew a drone in, and that was the only explanation they could come up with, is that like there may have been some areas that wasn't covered well enough, or there was some other piece of evidence. But there will be quite an extensive search this morning, as you can tell from the number of people. We are right around, I think it's Station Camp along Long Hollow Pike. It's right where the main headquarters was for the search back when they first started. We're just down the street from the fire hall, probably maybe a mile from the subdivision that Sebastian lives in. To the east, I guess it would be down Long Hollow Pike. Dozens of first responders here. Looks like they may have gotten their orders or instructions on where to go and what they're going to be doing. And some of them are starting to walk towards their vehicles. All right, well, I'm going to get off here. If they get out and start on foot searching up and down the roadways here, we'll try to do another live feed here showing you what's going on. I'll be here for about another hour or so and be relieved from the next crew. But I want to give everybody an update that there is an extensive search that's about to be underway again for Sebastian, 15-year-old young man that went missing from Hendersonville a little over 4 weeks ago. And they have really found no clues during the search over the past month. So they're hoping today may turn up something.
Okay, so that was a reporter from WKRN, Jerry. And he will hopefully come live again at some point and give us more updates. Again, that video was from a couple hours ago. I have not seen any other videos of the scene or of anything going on except for the short 1-minute clip that was on the news. But that was while they were getting set up at that staging area. Hopefully they share more information. More information about things. Right. Hopefully today is the day. Is Seth there? I'm not sure. They probably would not want him there just in case they would find anything. I'm hoping, and I know that people are like, oh, I hope they find something. I honestly hope they don't. I want him to have the ability to come home safe and alive. My heart is not ready to break, right? I don't want to picture any type of bad news coming from this. I hope this is them just double checking, verifying that he is for sure not living in the woods, and that he's not there, but that they are able to find something. I don't know. I don't want him to be there. That's all there is to it. I just don't. So. Oh, man. Yeah, praying hard. We want him to come home. Yeah, he's doing his own search in other areas. I know that not knowing is the worst possible case scenario. But I still want to bank on the fact that he has the ability to come home. It took months for them to track who Kaylee Jones was talking to and be able to find her and locate her to bring her home. And if there is some type of online situation going on or the fact that he could have ran away or had pre-planned to leave with somebody, I hope that we're in the same type of situation. Right. You agree, but you're not wanting another Summer Wells, and I agree with that too. Or an Oakley Carlson or any other missing child, Michael Vaughn. There's so many missing kids that have never been located, that it's heartbreaking, Madalena Kojakari, still missing, still have no idea where she is, no evidence as to where she could possibly be, still gone. Lena, still missing, no updated information. No idea what could have possibly happened to her. No idea if it's foul play or not, or if she just wandered off. No freaking clue. Dulce, missing still since 2019. She has been missing with no evidence, no information, no idea where she could have possibly gone. Michael Vaughn still has not been located. Police have said that he is perceived to be deceased. No one being held accountable yet for his disappearance. Suspects in his case, but still no answers as to where he could have gone. There's so many. So freaking many. Oakley Carlson. Parents have been arrested for other stuff, but not for her disappearance yet. They were taken in originally for her disappearance, and then they had to drop those charges. Cody Bigsby, his dad, was just found guilty for his murder. Just recently, they still have not found his remains. There's just so many. So many. Elijah, I gotta get an actual flyer up here of him. missing right now, also an Amber Alert. He's been missing since Of course, we covered Ryan Larson at the beginning of the channel or the show. You know, consider scrolling back to seeing the story about Ryan Larson. And then we have Sebastian. Sebastian's still missing. Still no information, and we still don't know where they are, where he is. Yes, there's always that. Connor Jack Oswalt was found 3 years later, living with the homeless 700 miles away. There's always hope until they're found. Always hope until they're found. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys who have been here. Thank you so much to my mods for being here to help and sticking it out. We do have another live stream. This one will redirect you to the next one coming up in just 4 short minutes. We are going back to jury selection for the Doomsday Prophet Chad Daybell's trial, being accused of or is on trial for the murder of his wife and his ex-wife. Well, I guess she was his wife up until she was killed, and then his new wife's 2 children. So he's on trial for that. If you guys haven't seen that, that's Lori Vallow's husband, Chad Daybell. And so we are watching jury selection for that case right now. We will be streaming that and the entirety of the trial. And so if you are interested in watching the Daybell trial with us, please feel free to join throughout. But I will see you guys over in jury selection. They did already start, so we should be on catch up like we were yesterday to make it a little bit more quicker. So thank you so much, Nicole, for the gifted membership. Nene, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Tiffany, thank you for joining. Jordan Olive, always nice to have you back as part of the Sleuth family. Thank you also, Reality Wins, for joining as a new member. And Sleuth, thank you for the $5 super chat. Love you guys, and I appreciate all of your support and help. Make sure that you hit the like button if you have not already, and continue to share Sebastian's face out there. As we get more updates about the search, I will come live again. And so keep a lookout for that as well. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber of this channel. And I will see you guys all later. Bye.